Hello, if you're watching this video right now, I'm going to explain today the Bible calendar as opposed to what we have today, the Roman calendar and Sunday worship. And I'm going to prove to you how that Sunday is just an invention of Roman Catholicism, which they're proud of, and they have right here on the back of one of their catechisms. It plainly says, they're so proud of it nowadays, you can buy this for about $3, that it says that they plainly transferred the solemnity of it, and that it's obedience to Rome that people keep Sunday holy, as opposed to our Father's Sabbath day on his calendar and not on the Pope's calendar. And I'm going to explain that today. Before I start though, there's two websites that I strongly encourage you to check out. It's world/chance.com and hopeofisrael.org. I use these quite often to reference material, and they've helped me out quite considerably. And today, the first section of this series that we're going to do is to help you understand God's Sabbath seal, or one day you're going to have to take Sunday the mark. And people don't think that Sunday worship is the mark of the beast, and that man could never be forced to worship against their will. And this ought to motivate anyone. I'm not a prophet, but right there it is. Germany reaffirms Sunday law. That was at the first of this year that this was enacted. Now, later on, you're going to understand how that Germany was part of the original that belonged to the papacy in the begin with. And we'll get to that later, but right now we're just going to focus on the calendar. Alright, to start out with, the Father in heaven gave Moses this calendar back, helped restore it back whenever he started bringing them out of Egypt, out of bondage in Pharaoh. And everything I'm going to tell you, I want you to take and reference it with your Bible. Don't take my word for anything. Then you're just going to mess up as bad as listening to one of the false preacher men that stand up at your pew every Sunday. You go to Exodus 12. Just bear with me, I'm flipping to it with you. It says, and the Lord, and whenever I say the Lord, it's actually in the Hebrew word Yahweh. That's our Father's name, and His Son's name. This might come as a shock, but it's not Jesus. It's Yahshua. Yahshua. That's the actual word. Jesus, when the Greek word was changed over, it come across as Asus. That's what they wrote down. And yes, when you start thinking about that, that goes right along with the word Zeus, son of Zeus. Yeah, you can see where the Greek mythology stuff started mixing in with the Bible when these Greeks wrote that down. You read the Hebrew and it's Yahshua. Okay? So anyway, it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months, and it shall be the first month of the year unto you. Now people say, okay, so what about that? The word there in Hebrew is Kodesh for month. Now, this is a Strong's Concordance. You can purchase this at a Bible bookstore for around $40. You can easily go to esword.com and download an online Bible free that has every single word translated from Hebrew to English and Greek to English, so that you can look and see what it really meant and not somebody's interpretation. And the word Kodesh, which we take as moon right here, month, is 2320 almost every time that it's translated. Okay? Well, in Hebrew, Kodesh right here means, and if you can zoom in on this for me, Kodesh means new moon. A month. New moon. Okay? So when the Lord spoke to Moses, He said, this moon is the beginning of moons for you. That was Abbott. If anybody, every time that you hear Easter, everybody's all fired up about Easter. Easter's paganism. The true Passover can only be found on our Father's calendar. and that's the first moon of the year. I'll explain how to break all this down later. Is on Passover. The Passover lamb was killed. And we're going to stop right here and we'll go to the second segment.